They thought they held you down, didn't they? Thought they controlled you, kept you caged. But here's the thing about chains: you can cut them. You can break free. And once you do, once you tear through the prison they built around you, you look around and you realize it's not you who's trapped. It was never you, it was them. So now, look at you. Look at them. Who's the one truly locked up now? Who's the one still stuck in their own fear, in their own doubt, while you're free, and you're about to burn brighter than they could ever imagine? They made you feel small. They made you feel like you were nothing. They took everything, didn't they? They took your trust, your loyalty, your love, and they tossed it aside like it was nothing more than a discarded piece of trash. The ones who swore they'd always have your back. The ones who promised you they'd stand by you. Gone when you needed them most. You thought they'd never leave, but they did. And now, here you are alone, abandoned, broken, or at least that's what you've been led to believe. But here's the truth that wasn't their gift to you. No, that was their mistake. And it's a mistake they'll pay for. You see, they thought they were walking away, leaving you to wither. But in reality, in truth, they handed you the most powerful thing you could ever ask for. They gave you the freedom to become something more. You feel the sting of it, I know. I've been there. I felt the weight of being tossed aside, of watching people walk away from you like you never mattered. But that's the trick: they thought they were the ones in control. But it was always you. Look, I know what it's like. I've been through it too. I've been left in the dirt. I've been underestimated by people who claimed to care, who swore they'd never leave. I felt that emptiness, that crushing silence when the people you trusted the most just vanish without a trace. It cuts deep, makes you feel like you're nothing. But here's the cold truth: those who leave, they lose. They don't realize it, but the moment they turned their back on you, they sealed their fate. Because when you're left with nothing, when everyone around you walks away, it's the moment you stop depending on anyone else. You realize you don't need them. You never did. And when they left you, when they walked out the door and thought you'd fade into nothingness, they handed you the key to everything you'll ever need. You want to know what they gave you? They gave you yourself. They gave you the chance to see what happens when you cut the chains. And that's a gift they'll never get back. But let's not sugarcoat it. It hurt, right? That abandonment, that rejection, it cuts deeper than anything else. But now you see it, don't you? You see that they never had control over you in the first place. It wasn't them holding you back. It wasn't them keeping you chained. No, they were always afraid. They were afraid of the power you had inside of you. They were afraid that you'd realize it, that you'd stop waiting for it and start moving forward. So they left. They thought they were leaving you behind. But in reality, all they did was set you free. You think they left you behind? Nah, that was their biggest mistake. They set you free, and now you're unstoppable. The chains, they're gone. And now you can walk away from them. You can rise. And there's nothing that can stop you from becoming the person they feared all along. You've been given everything you need. So now, what will you do with it? You ever feel like they had all the power? Like they held all the cards and you were just some pawn in their game? They made you believe that without them, you were nothing. That you needed them to validate you, to define you. They made you think that without their approval, without their presence, you'd fall apart. But here's the kicker, the one thing they didn't see. Control is an illusion. They had this false belief that they were the ones pulling the string. They thought they had the upper hand, that they were the ones keeping you in check, keeping you on your knees. But what they didn't understand is that control. It's fragile, it's fleeting. And the moment they pushed you too far, the moment they took you for granted, they let it slip right through their fingers. You see, they wanted you to depend on them. They wanted you to believe that without their constant validation, you'd be lost. But they never realized that you were the one holding the power all along. They weren't the ones controlling you, they were the ones being controlled by their own fear, their own insecurity. And now they're wondering where you went and why they can't find you. They had control, but you were the one with the strength to walk away. Let's talk about betrayal. You think it's easy to trust again after everything they did to you? How could they? How could the ones who swore they cared, the ones who swore they'd never hurt you, turn their backs when you needed them most? They took your heart, didn't they? Took your love, took your trust, and treated it like some game. Like it was nothing more than a toy to be discarded when they got tired of playing with it. It stings, doesn't it? The people who claimed care, the people who said they'd stand by you forever, they were the ones who left. They were the ones who turned away, and in doing so, they burned you. But here's the truth, they didn't break you. No, they just exposed your strength. The fact that you could feel so deeply, that you could give so much and still stand, that was never a weakness. That was your strength, your ability to endure, to survive, to rise up from the ashes they thought they left you in. And here's the real kicker: as much as it hurts, as much as it stings, that betrayal didn't destroy you. It's the reason you're stronger now. It's the reason you're ready to take what's yours. You've been through the fire, and guess what? You didn't burn. You became something harder, something sharper. And now, they're gonna see it. They'll realize they never knew who they were messing with. I know what you're feeling. That rage, that anger bubbling up inside you like a volcano ready to erupt. Every time they thought you were finished, every time they believed you'd roll over and accept it, you came back, stronger, louder, more determined than ever before. They thought they had the upper hand because they abandoned you, because they treated you like you were disposable. But what they didn't count on was your resilience. What they didn't expect was the fire inside you, the rage that was burning hotter with every cruel word, every empty promise. They left, sure, but with each step they took away from you, they just made you burn hotter. They underestimated you. They made the mistake of thinking you were weak. They thought the pain would crush you. But what did it really do? It didn't break you, it built you. Every wound, every scar, every betrayal, they've all fed that fire. They've all made you the force that you are now. And now, what's left? Nothing but their regret. They're the ones who have to live with the memory of who you were before and who you've become. And trust me, that rage, it's not going anywhere. It's been building, feeding off every slight, every dismissal. And when it finally explodes, oh, they won't see it coming. You've been through it, haven't you? You've felt that struggle, that pain, that overwhelming sense of hopelessness when you thought you were alone, when you thought you were broken, abandoned, betrayed. You fought battles that no one knew about. You stayed up late, wondering if it would ever get better, wondering if you'd ever get out of this pit. But you did. You did get out. They thought they could break you, didn't they? They thought they had it figured out. They thought they could manipulate you, control you, and make you their victim. But what they didn't see, what they didn't realize, you were never the one being broken. No, you were the one breaking piece by piece. They chipped away at you. They tried to make you small, tried to make you small, tried to make you doubt your own worth. But every time they pushed you, you came back stronger. You took their punches, their lies, their betrayals, and you didn't just survive. You thrived, you learned from it, you adapted. And now they're the ones who are stuck in their own weakness, in their own fear. And you're not the same person they thought they left behind. You've risen from the wreckage, from the rubble they created. And every scar, every wound, every time they tried to knock you down, it's made you who you are now. Stronger, sharper, more dangerous than they ever imagined. They thought they could break you, but they didn't break you. No, you broke them. And now, the world's going to see who you really are. And they won't know what hit them. You remember the pain, don't you? The crushing feeling of being left behind, abandoned by the ones who swore they'd always be there. They thought they had you. They thought they'd broken you, crushed you under the weight of their lies and their betrayal. They thought they were the ones who walked away, leaving you in the dust, broken and defeated. But what they didn't know that what they saw as weakness was actually the beginning of your transformation. They thought they left you shattered, but you weren't shattered. You were being forged. Every moment of pain, every tear, every sleepless night, it was all fire, burning, shaping you into something stronger, something they could never understand. They didn't leave you broken. They left you ready to rise, ready to fight, ready to become the storm they never saw coming. They thought they could destroy you. What they didn't realize, they were only building you into something greater than they could ever imagine. And now, when the storm hits, it's going to leave them drowning in their own mistakes. You know what they didn't understand? You didn't have to scream. You didn't have to beg. While they were busy shouting, while they were busy making noise, you stayed quiet. And they mistook that silence. They didn't understand that silence isn't surrender. No, silence is the calm before the storm. You didn't need to yell to be heard. You didn't need to scream to be seen. You let them talk. Let them tell their lies. Let them drown themselves in their own words. While they were busy inflating their own egos, you were busy getting stronger, getting sharper, getting ready for the moment when their words wouldn't matter anymore. And now you found your voice, your quiet strength, the one they thought they could overlook. It's louder than all their empty noise. When you speak, when you finally step into your power, they won't be able to ignore you. Your words will cut through the air like a blade. Your presence will demand attention. They thought you'd stay silent forever, didn't they? They thought they could drown you out with their chaos. But the silence wasn't weakness. It was your weapon. And now that you found your voice, they're going to regret ever thinking they could silence you. Let me ask you something. When they walked away, when they betrayed you, did you feel like you'd hit rock bottom? Did you feel like the world was closing in, like you couldn't go on? I know you did. I know that silence after the betrayal, it felt like the end, didn't it? The weight of their absence, the void they left behind, it crushed you. But let me tell you something. That silence, that wasn't the end. It was the beginning. What they thought was your breaking point. That was your turning point. That was the moment you stopped being their victim and started becoming the victor. Every time they thought they were pushing you down, they were really pushing you into something greater. Every time they abandoned you, every time they dismissed you, it was just another layer of strength being built inside you. The quiet after their betrayal, that wasn't weak. It was power gathering. Power that was invisible to them, but was there all along. The silence wasn't your defeat. It was your rebirth. You took that pain, took that rage, and turned it into something unbreakable. And when they realize what you've become, when they see the storm they never saw coming, it will be too late. They won't know how to fight what's already unstoppable. Now, let me paint a picture for you. You were left behind. You were abandoned. You were told you were nothing, that you'd never amount to anything without them. They thought they had the power, didn't they? They thought they could take everything from you, your trust, your loyalty, your heart, and you'd crumble. But look at you now. They thought they were leaving you behind. They thought they were casting you aside. But what they didn't realize is that they were just pushing you into the shadows, into the silence. And in that darkness, you grew. They left you behind. Perfect. Because now you're building something they'll never catch. They're stuck, spinning in circles, trapped by their own illusions of control. But you're outgrowing them. You're outgrowing everything they tried to make you. This isn't just about revenge. This isn't just about proving them wrong. No, what you're building now, what you're becoming, it's something they'll never be able to follow. They'll never understand the strength that was born from the pain they caused. They'll never know what it means to turn betrayal into power. And when you rise, when you finally take your place on top, they won't even recognize you. Because you're not the person they left behind. No, you're the storm they never saw coming. You're not just surviving anymore, you're thriving. You're rising. And when you rise, you're leaving them in the dust. You think they still have a hold on you, don't you? You think they still control your fate, still have the power to shape your future. But let me tell you something, the moment they walked away, they handed you the greatest weapon you could ever have control. They thought they were cutting you off, but all they did was set you free. You don't need their approval. You don't need their validation. You don't need their recognition. The power to rise, it's in your hands now. And trust me when I say this, they can't touch it. Not anymore. They had their chance to control you. They had their chance to make you believe you were nothing without them. But now, you're the one who gets to decide. You're the one who holds the keys to your destiny. No more waiting for permission. No more begging for scraps of love or attention. Your strength, it comes from within, and it's unstoppable. Stop letting them live rent-free in your mind. Stop letting their betrayal take up space in your heart. The only one who gets to control your life now is you. And when you take that control, when you decide that you are the master of your own fate, nothing can stand in your way. Nothing. You've been through it. You felt the sting of betrayal, the weight of abandonment. Every tear they caused, every sleepless night, every time you thought you couldn't keep going, it left a mark. It made you feel small. It made you feel like maybe you weren't enough. But I'm here to tell you something, every single bit of that pain, it's your fuel. Every time they kicked you when you were down, they gave you more power. Every time they walked away, they only made you stronger. They thought they were breaking you. But what they didn't understand was that they were feeding your fire. That pain, it's not a curse, it's a blessing. You see, what they didn't realize is that pain can't destroy you. No, pain can only fuel you. It can only light the fire within you that burns brighter and hotter with every insult, with every hurt, with every moment they thought you would make it. And now, that fire, it's yours to control. Channel it, use it, let it drive you. Because when you let that fire burn, when you let it rage through you, you become a force to be reckoned with. You become unstoppable. And they'll be left in the ashes, wondering how they ever thought they could control you. This isn't just about healing. This isn't just about proving them wrong. No, this is about something much greater. This is about building something so powerful, so unshakable, that no one can ever tear it down again. It's not about revenge. It's not about getting back at them. That's small thinking. They want you to stay trapped in the past, locked in a cycle of hurt and anger. But you're moving forward, and you're moving forward with purpose. Every day, every step, every decision, it matters. You're building your empire. And when you build with purpose, when you take every moment and turn it into something bigger than you, that's when you start to rise. That's when you start to create something so untouchable, so inevitable, that no one can stop you. Consistency is key. You've already survived the worst. Now it's time to thrive. Every action you take, every step you make, it's a brick in the foundation of your future. And no matter how long it takes, no matter how hard it gets, don't stop building. Don't stop moving forward. This is your time. This is your moment. Close your eyes for a second. Picture the future. Picture yourself standing tall, with everything you've ever worked for, everything you've ever dreamed of, right in front of you. Picture the success. Picture the empire you've built with your own 2 hands. It's yours. No one can take it from you. When you rise, they won't even recognize you. They won't know who you are anymore. They won't see the person they left behind. No, they'll see someone stronger, someone sharper, someone who turned their betrayal into a weapon. And by the time they realize what you've become, it won't matter, because you will be a force they'll never be able to reach. They thought they left you behind? They were wrong. You were never behind. You were always ahead. You were always moving forward, while they were stuck, mired in their own regrets. When you rise, you won't just be a survivor. You'll be a conqueror, a king or queen of your own world. And they'll be nothing but a distant memory. You are the storm they never saw coming. You are the fire they tried to put out. And now you're the one in control. You're the one who gets to decide how your story ends. And trust me, this is just the beginning. Now, take that power, take that control, build your future. Because they may have thought they left you behind, but in reality, they've just set you on a path to something they'll never be able to touch. It's time. Time to rise. Time to reclaim everything you've ever deserved. And when you rise, don't you dare look back. Because those who doubted you, those who betrayed you, they're not even in the picture anymore. It's your time. It's your world. And they're just living in it. Do you remember the days when they thought they had the upper hand? The days when they thought they could break you, crush you, leave you in the dirt? and watch you stay down? Well, here's the thing, they were wrong. They always were. Because right now, in this very moment, you've become a storm they can't escape. You've outgrown them. You've risen higher than they ever thought possible. And guess what? They're still stuck in the same old mess they left you in. While they're drowning in the same chaos they tried to drag you into, you're standing tall, building something they could never even dream of. They thought they could break you, but look at you now. You're untouchable. You're not just a survivor anymore. You're a force. You're the thing that keeps moving forward, no matter what. They thought they could tear you down, but you're the one tearing through everything they ever built. You're not just escaping their grasp, you're building an empire they'll never touch. Look at the mess they're still in. They thought they had you figured out, didn't they? But you were always more. And now they can only watch as you rise, as you claim what's rightfully yours. You've become the storm they never saw coming, and they can't do a damn thing about it. You've done it, you've made it. And now, they're the ones left behind, wondering what went wrong. The ones who doubted you, the ones who thought they could control you. They're stuck. They thought they had the power, but you were always the one who held the cards. And now, you're the one who's playing the game. Oh, they'll see it soon enough. They'll look at you, and they won't even recognize the person they left behind. But it's not about them anymore. They'll never forget what they saw in you. They'll remember every time they underestimated you, every time they laughed at you, every time they thought you'd stay down. And you know what? They'll regret it. They'll regret every moment they turned their back on you. Every single second they thought you were just a memory, a broken shell of what you used to be. They'll see what you've become and wonder how they could have been so blind. How could they not have seen the fire in you? How could they not have realized that the storm you were about to unleash was coming for them? The ones who laughed, the ones who betrayed you, the ones who thought you were weak. They'll watch as you pass them by, and it will hit them hard. The regret. It'll eat them alive. Every moment they thought they could walk away from you, they'll regret. Every single moment they took you for granted, they'll regret. But it's too late for them. You've already moved on. You've already built what they could never build. You've already become something they'll never be able to reach. You've turned their doubts into fuel, and now you're soaring while they're still stuck, watching you from the sidelines, unable to do a damn thing. And when they look at you, when they see what you've become, all they'll be able to do is regret. And by then, it won't matter. You'll be too far ahead. Let me tell you something. What you've built, it's not just success. It's not just a pretty picture on a wall or a fleeting achievement that fades into nothing. No, what you've built is a fortress. It's untouchable. It's unshakable. You didn't just rise from the ashes, you built an empire. Brick by brick, decision by decision, you've created something that cannot be torn down. Not by them, not by anyone. They thought they could take it all from you. They thought they could break you, knock you down, leave you with nothing. But look at you now. You're stronger than they could ever imagine. And everything you've built, everything you've fought for, it's yours, and only yours. You see, they never understood the kind of strength you had. They never understood the resilience it took to come back from the things they did to you. They thought they were leaving you with nothing, but what they didn't realize was that they were giving you everything. Every bit of betrayal, every moment of doubt, they were making you stronger, tougher, and more unbreakable than ever. And now, you stand tall in the empire you've built, looking down at the ruins of the things they tried to take from you. And it's not just success, it's strength, it's power, it's an unshakable foundation that no one can destroy. Not them, not anyone. It's yours. And here's the kicker, they can't touch it. They can't tear it down. They can't break what you've built. They thought they were leaving you behind. But now, they'll watch as you grow, watch as you conquer, watch as you continue to rise, and they'll never, ever catch up. They tried to break you, but you became the storm. You know what's the best part? The part they never saw coming? They thought they were leaving you behind. But now, they're the ones left in the dust.